This is JordanTower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Charisse. This is Luce Cannon's wife, supposedly, if they're married, but they're definitely together. And she's on here sipping wine, doing all kinds of like interviews and stuff about Luce Cannon. Nobody cares about Luce Cannon, okay? The whole thing is they care about Big U, the Rolling 60s, and the connections to Nipsey and everything else. Big U's the star here. It's not Luce Cannon, loose lips, as we call him, because this guy told everything he ever did with Big U. It was like a tell-all book. He was like Superhead with his book, you know. But he went on podcasts and told everything he could. He made up stories just to sound interesting. He was trying so hard to become a character. He was jealous. Whack 100 successfully became a character years ago, and he wanted that same fame. And Whack 100 saw the same character of himself inside of Luce Cannon. So he pushed him forward, and also he was pushing a narrative that he loved. Big U is no good. So anyways, here we are today with a Rico on Big U. They all worked hard together. Whack 100, Luce Cannon, and Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600, who hates Big U too. I've never heard Bricc, like you see how Bricc Baby and Luce Cannon, they're on the same case, but they're bunkies. Like they think this is like a reality show. And his wife reacting to everything, she thinks this is a reality show. She thinks this is her way. Maybe she already has dreams of like Love After Lockup, all these shows for her, because music never worked for her. So now they're doing this. One of these guys is talking, Luce Cannon or Bricc Baby. Whack 100 says, "Oh no, Bricc Baby's was getting extorted by Big U." Of what? He had nothing. He didn't have that much. He had podcast money. Meaning, I'm not saying it's small, but he didn't have his own podcast. He was paid to go talk to people for $3,000, $2,000, $4,000 here and there. So like, and Adam couldn't have been paying him that much money. So extorting him for what? There's nothing to extort him for. The whole thing's a clown show. They're supposed to get. They're having a bail hearing, I guess, tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But the reason I say one of these guys is talking is because you don't really put two people in a case together in the same cell unless you want them to talk or want to extract information from the other one. And that's that. So we'll see. Can't tell you who's who. Big U. We'll have to see what happens with him. This is what happens when you. Who knew that he had such idiots around him? Okay, because these guys are morons, talking too much on podcasts and teeing up easy Ricos. It's insane, bro. Okay, so then we got. Oh gosh, one of my least favorite rappers, Chance the Rapper. I'll never understand how this guy made it. You know, it's like name me a Chance the Rapper song that doesn't have Lil Wayne on it. Coloring Books is out now. Nobody cares, bro. There was that one album. For some reason, some people cared about that. A lot of people assume that he had like a backdoor deal with a label or something, and they pushed it. That's all I remember with that song with him and 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. It was like a circus. Anyways, he has a $3 million showdown with ex-manager. Chance the Rapper is set to face former manager Pat Corcoran in court over $3 million commission stemming from a verbal agreement. What is this? Now, I don't think this is right. Chance the Rapper is headed. Remember, he was painted as like the perfect rapper. He's a good guy. he's married, and this turns out he has a lot of issues, and he got a divorce because a lot of those issues were exposed over the past 5 years. He's headed to trial in Chicago over $3 million lawsuit from his former manager, Pat Corcoran. Corcoran managed Chance from 2012 until he was fired on April 2020. What was there to manage in 2012? This is like a homie for him. That's what it is. This is one of his friends. Anyways, alleging the hip-hop artist broke a verbal agreement that entitled him to 15% of his profits of his music. Come on, man. A verbal agreement of 15% of millions of dollars? He wants reimbursement for $2.5 million. He says he spent advancing Chance's career? $2.5 million? Who is this guy? $2.5 million. The legal feud is now entering into fifth year, has grown into a bitter back and forth between both sides. In 2021, Chance fired back with a countersuit accusing Corcoran of breaching fiduciary duties and interfering with business opportunities. He also alleged that he's used his name for personal gain. Chance has dismissed the claims as baseless, calling Corcoran a disgruntled former manager, which sounds like probably is true. Cook County judge wasn't convinced. According to Music Business Worldwide, court denied Chance's request of summary judgment, clearing the way for a full trial. Over a verbal agreement? We'll see. Cardi B has been... It says, today Cardi B's net worth reached $101.6 million mark in 2025. This is according to CEO Today. How do they determine that? I mean, I know she has money, but like, how do they just determine that out of nowhere? Were they calculating everything she spent money on, like houses, this? Anyways, that's good. And she's American as the second richest female rapper of all time. Who's first? Nicki? I don't know. With only one album out, that was 7 years ago. Well, she could have told them her net worth. To be honest with you, she could have said, yeah, I'm worth $101 million. Just like Kanye tells these magazines, I'm worth $1 billion. I'm not hating on her. I'm just saying, I know she has millions of dollars. I'm just saying, like, Nicki, Cardi B, other in certain rappers, they always want to be known as the first to do this. This is Soulja Boy, obviously, but he's not really in that race with the money thing. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Hey, it is what it is. Maybe it could also be publicity just to drum off the album. Everybody likes success, right? So Tommy Lee was on 20v1. We're not talking about Tommy Lee, the singer from Jamaica. We're talking about Tommy Lee, the ratchet girl from Love and Hip Hop. She was on 20v1. She ends up having a fight with the host and beating her up. Got into an altercation on the set of 20v1. Maybe it wasn't even the host. It was just someone that came out. They seemed cool at first. Then Tommy Lee started grabbing her hair, pulling her to the ground. Tommy Lee fights Granny from Baddies Auditions. Calls me. Oh, this is the Baddies Auditions. I thought this is 20v1. Is this Baddie? Okay, anyways. Well, maybe that's how she got the gig. She is bad. She's being a bad girl. Then we got Scooter. Sent him out. They had his funeral yesterday. Very sad. A lot of people showed out. Big funeral, but everyone would have rather him be here, man. It's a horrible circumstance that that girl, essentially, like, she might as well have shot him. The way she called the cops and made him feel like something crazy was going on in the house on his birthday. And, his natural instinct was to just, jump the fence. I mean, if your house is being raided, it's like, Essentially, that's what happened because the woman described everything above the sun that was going on in the house. There's babies in there. There's drugs. People are getting beat up. Girls are being naked. It's like, all right, we got to show. They show up heavy. Scooter jumped the fence. Maybe he was just in there, drunk. He didn't know what was going on. It's his birthday. It's his birthday, man. He was getting lit. Yeah. So. Very sad. Anyways, I will check you guys on the next one. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. These guys are really making a mockery of gang life. To be honest with you, not Big U, but the other guys in Whack 100. They think it's a reality show. Anyways, Jordan Tower with JT News. Check you guys in the next one. Peace.